Good evening once again, and here is a summary of the stories that made headlines locally and internationally. I'm Franlyn Thomas. The National Disability Council is calling on the Health Minister, Dr. Richard Kamwe, to initiate the nomination of new council members as stipulated in the National Disability Council of Namibia Act. The Secretary-General of the National Federation of People Living with Disabilities, Gershon Mutendere, says they wrote a letter to the Minister in June informing him that the current Council's term of office would expire at the end of last month, but that they are still waiting for a response. But Health Minister Dr. Richard Kamwe says the National Disability Council of Namibia issue was referred to the Attorney General because of the conflicting legislation that has caused the delay in the appointment of a new NDCN board. The State-Owned Enterprises Act limits board members of any parastatal to only 7, while the National Disability Council Act makes provision for 13. Demonstrations by Namdeb striking workers continue on a daily basis at Oranjemund. MUN shop steward Polyvester Hangula says the workers are demanding both the removal of rental payment and the mine manager, Mitford Mandel. The striking workers yesterday marched from the MUN head office to the Namdeb main office block to express their grievances. Polyvester Hangula said they were only demanding fair treatment for all the workers, as Bougainville's employees would be the only ones paying rent, while others who also stay in Namdeb hostels would not. He said there were many issues being discussed with the company, including the polygraph testing at Namdeb, which the workers will no longer entertain. Reacting to the no work, no pay principle, Namdeb has applied. MUN shop steward Washandali Kakuti said although they would be suffering for now, the long-term benefits of their action would be much greater. The Regional and Local Government Housing and Rural Development Ministry has approved the appointment of Connie Bok as Acting Secretary of the Kalgrand Village Council in the Hardap region as an interim measure. The Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Erastus Nyonga, says this is to allow for administrative activities and service delivery to continue uninterrupted. Last month, the Kalgrand Village Council suspended its secretary, Neville Smith, on a number of charges and appointed Bok, who is not employed by the council, in an acting capacity. This prompted protests from the residents, charging that the move was against the provisions of the Local Authority Act that states that only employees of a council can be appointed in that capacity. The Line Minister, Jerry Kanja, also ordered the Village Council to reverse Bok's appointment. But today, the Permanent Secretary, Erastus Nyonga, explained that Bok was appointed because there was no suitable candidate with the Kalgrand Village Council. School ended early today countrywide to allow teachers to write an English language proficiency test. It is an initiative of the Education Ministry to determine the level of the English language understanding among teachers in order to provide them with extra courses to improve their proficiency in the language. The English language proficiency test started on the 9th of this month when both public and private school principals sat for it. Today it came down to the teachers, and because of that, normal lessons had to be suspended. The Education Ministry has contracted to the University of Namibia to design the English language proficiency program for more than 1,700 school principals and teachers. Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan has ordered the military to take all necessary actions to stop ethnic and religious unrest in Plateau State. His order to the Chief of Defense comes a day after 2 bomb explosions hit the state capital, Jos. More than 100 people have been killed in the past 2 weeks in the state in conflict between Muslims and Christians from rival ethnic groups. The conflict has continued despite a strong security force presence. Rival groups have clashed in Plateau State on numerous occasions over the past decade. More than 1,000 people have died in the past 2 years. The President's office said in a statement that President Jonathan had directed Chief of Defense Staff Air Marshal to take full charge of the security situation in Plateau State immediately and take all necessary action to stop the recent spate of killings in the state. And those were the news stories making headlines this hour. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, good night.